The JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 74. Get Real, episode number 17. When exactly is it going to be the right time to get the help you need to lose that weight for good? Hello and welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the kick-ass, amazing Inner Self Diet. The Inner Self Diet that heals your problems that you're having with overeating and overweight. The Inner Self Diet is my proven proprietary step-by-step coaching system that I coach my private coaching clients through. In real time, over the phone, I virtually hold their hand. They work with me personally, and it works. I've been doing this since 2009. It works every time. It ends binge eating. It ends emotional eating. It ends compulsive overeating. It ends food addiction, food drama. It ends scale obsession, scale fear, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, body hate, body shame, hopelessness, depression, whatever the problem is that's keeping you fat, frustrated, and fed up, the Inner Self Diet will heal it. But I gotta tell you, it won't heal anything if you don't do it. Yes, it's true. The Inner Self Diet doesn't work for anybody who doesn't do it, including myself. It's just like your garden hose, okay? So you've got a garden hose, and if you turn the garden hose on, if you take action, then water will flow through the garden hose and it will come out the other end and you can water your garden. But if you never take action to turn that faucet handle and turn the water flow on so it can go through the garden hose, then the garden hose will never work. It's not that the garden hose is defective, it's that you're not taking action. So it's the same thing with the Inner Self Diet. It only works if you work it. It doesn't work for anybody who just listens to me talk about it and then they hope and wish and pray that maybe someday they will have a major core transformation without doing the steps. I know that doesn't sound like it makes any sense, does it? But there's a lot of people out there who say they want to lose weight. They say they want permanent weight loss. They say they want to be struggle-free with food and their weight, which are the results that my clients get from the Inner Self Diet. But those same folks, they're not doing anything different. They just keep eating the same amounts of food, the same kind of food, staying in their comfort zone, hating on other women who are fit, slender, and healthy because that's not who they are, when the solution to their problem is found within their inner self. But the big problem is that hardly anybody knows how to find that solution. They don't have the game plan, they don't have the blueprint, they don't have the action plan to heal what is within them that drives their out of control eating and makes their body fat and keeps them stuck and keeps them feeling hopeless and like a failure. And hey, by the way, I'm not talking to you from some holier than thou place like I've never had these problems. I've totally had these problems. That's why I can talk about this stuff, and that's why I can be so real about it and say, hey, nothing's gonna change if you don't make the change. And the quickest and easiest way to get out of that struggle, to stop the binge eating, to stop the food addiction, to stop the stress and the drama and the taking one step forward and 5 steps back. You're always telling yourself, I'll start again on Monday, and then maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you do, maybe you make it through Monday afternoon. Maybe you make it for a whole week, but then you blow it. I've had some clients who have been at their ideal weight in the past, but they could never stay there until doing the inner self diet, because you got to have a core transformation on the inside of yourself in order to, first of all, make it struggle free to do the things that you need to do to live a healthy lifestyle. And you need that core transformation on the inside of yourself in order to maintain your goal weight after you get there for the rest of your life. Just like Holly, who I worked with back in 2011, I coached her through my proven steps in the inner self diet, and she had been out of control, major out of control with binge eating for over 30 years. She had been in therapy off and on for 7 years. Nothing she'd done had stopped her binge eating. And she enrolled with me. She allowed me to coach her. She was willing to change. She did the steps. And that was in 2011. She was 20 pounds overweight. She stopped binge eating after over 30 years of being out of control with the food and the out of control binge eating. Um, she stopped binge eating. She dropped the 20 pounds. She's never gone back. I mean, that is true transformation. That is quite amazing. And those are the kind of results my clients get. But the reason is because the inner self diet is not a food diet. All right? It's about changing your head, your heart, your gut. It's about doing the core transformation that must be done in your beliefs, in your thoughts, in your thought patterns, in your level of, oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff. You have to change your identity, really. And you're never going to get what you want by staying where you are. It will never work. You can't stay in your comfort zone and expect to get these amazing results that I talk about and that my clients have experienced. That you can't expect to be free of your food and weight struggles by continuing to do what you're doing and continuing to stay where you are in your comfort zone, because your comfort zone breeds more food addiction, it breeds more emotional eating, it breeds more binge eating, it breeds more fat, it breeds more struggle. And that's just how it is. By the way, this is Get Real episode number 17 of the JoLynn Braley Show. And you're not going to like this episode if you're not willing to get real with yourself. In fact, maybe you don't even like what I was just saying. But if you really didn't like that, then you would have already exited the show. So I'm just warning you that for the rest of the show, you will not like it. If you want to stay stuck in your comfort zone, if you want to stay comfortable in your comfort zone, if you want to stay safe in your comfort zone, you're not going to like this episode, because you're never going to break free by staying where you are. But hey, if you want to stay where you are, that's cool. It's totally your choice. It's none of my business. My business is helping my awesome coaching clients get out of their own way so that they can do the stuff they already know how to do and know they need to do to live a healthy lifestyle. You do have to live a healthy lifestyle. You have to change your eating habits. You have to change your exercise habits. You have to change how you live. You've got to get enough sleep. You've got to drink enough water. You've got to prep your food in advance. There's all kinds of things that are part of living a healthy lifestyle. And these things need to be done. They have to be done if you're going to not just release the fat, but keep it off. But the problem is that those things that I just said, that's the stuff that everybody is focusing on. And that's only 7.2% of the game. It's only 7.2% of permanent weight loss. 92.8% of permanent weight loss is having the right mindset. It's all about your inner self. If you never do that work, you can force yourself to do the things that are part of a healthy lifestyle, and it's not going to be struggle free unless you have a core transformation on the inside of yourself. You know, this is why 95% of dieters fail. They either can't get started, or if they do get started, they can only stick with it for so long. They can't stay consistent. If they do get to their ideal weight, they always gain it back because the inner and the outer always match. This is actually one of the universal laws that all of us live under, and you cannot change universal law. You're never going to be able to change universal law. You either learn how to work with it and get lined up with it, or you don't. And the bottom line fact is that if you're fat on the inside, if you're fat in your thoughts, if you're fat in your head, if you're fat in your beliefs, if you have fat fears, if you have a fat mindset, then your body has to be fat on the inside or on the outside. The inner and the outer always match. And so the solution is you have to become fit, slender, healthy, strong, amazing, non-apologetic about being your best self. You have to become healthy, fit, awesome, sexy, all of this good stuff, high self-esteem, high self-confidence. You've got to be that on the inside right now, even while you're overweight, in order to have a struggle-free time releasing the fat and in order to keep it off. And that's the work I do with my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. And by the way, if you're really cool and you are serious about changing, if you're willing to look at yourself, if you're willing to take 100% personal responsibility for yourself, if you're willing to invest your time, your money, your focus, your effort, if you're willing to do these things for yourself, and if you're really awesome, right, then I would love to talk to you if you're serious about getting permanent weight loss. And the place that you would start is go to www.discovery-session.com, and that's where you enter your name and email address, and then on the next page there will be an application that you fill out to get on a one-on-one complimentary weight loss discovery session with me. And I'll find out if or how I can help you, find out more about you. What are your specific struggles with achieving permanent weight loss? My clients, they already know what they need to do to lose weight, all right? But they're not able to do it. And gosh, I have been there before. I know what that's like, and I know how frustrating it is, and I know how depressing it is, and I know how much time it wastes, and I know that it totally saps your quality of life, and it's like it throws a wet blanket on any other successes that you might have in your life, because you take your body with you everywhere, and you take your self-doubts and your fears and your fat, you take it with you everywhere. You know, you can't, how do you leave your body behind and be alive and do the things that you do each day in your life? You get it? Does it make sense? So, what is today's topic about here on Get Real episode number 17? It's just about asking yourself the question, when exactly is going to be the right time for you to get the help that you need in order to lose that weight for good and keep it off? And really, the things I've already been talking about tie directly into that. Most people, they will never get help, ever. And they'll continue to struggle, and they'll continue to complain, and they'll continue to be overweight, and they'll have health problems, and, that's what they're going to do. Hopefully that's not you. And it's just about, you really have to be willing to get real with yourself. What the hell are you doing? You keep saying that you want to be thin and fit and slender and strong, but what are you doing to get that? What is your weight loss mindset proven system for doing that? Because when I asked that question just now, if your first thought was, oh, well, what I need to do is I need to do the South Beach diet, or I need to go back to Weight Watchers. Well, okay, if those things work for you, that's cool. If those are healthy lifestyles, if one of those, or if you have a healthy lifestyle to live and it's healthy for you, that's great. But you're still missing 92.8% of the solution. Why is it that you're not already doing the thing that you know that you could be doing? Why do you keep putting it off? Why do you keep telling yourself you'll do it Monday or after the holidays or after your vacation or after the wedding, after the birthday, after the anniversary, whatever, you know? If it was so easy for you to do it, then why are you listening to my voice right now? So all of these things are proof, if you're willing to really look at yourself and you're willing to get real with yourself, these are all proof that you need help. Because if you could do what you know you need to do, and if you could do it struggle-free, why would you be spending your precious time listening to my voice right now? I mean, it's not like I'm a good comedian, or it's not like I'm telling stories about, I don't know, like some kind of storyteller. It's I mean, you have much better things to do than listen to me talk on this podcast right now. So you know you need help. You keep putting it off. You need to get a coach. Why? Because you can't see your own blind spots. Nobody can see their own blind spots. That's why coaching is the quickest and fastest and simplest and easiest way to get from where you are to where you want to be. Everyone who's a high performer knows this, because no one, whoever they are, nobody, none of us can see the blind spots that are standing in our way, because they're blind spots. You know what I'm saying? So what is it that keeps holding you back? What is your biggest fear about breaking free of these food and weight problems? What is it that you're afraid is going to happen? Are you afraid that you'll be out of control sexually, and maybe you're married and you're afraid that you will be having sex with all kinds of men besides your husband if you look absolutely fantastic? And don't laugh. I've had clients before who had that fear, and that needed to be worked through so that they could step into their ideal life and their ideal body. But I have no idea who you are. I don't know what your struggles are unless I were to actually speak with you and work with you in the inner self diet. So I'm just, that was just an example. But what is stopping you? Why do you keep telling yourself, do you keep telling yourself that you don't need help? All you got to do is break out that diet book and you just got to make yourself do it. Well, if that's true, why aren't you doing it? Why is it so difficult for you to stop binge eating? Why is it so hard for you to stop your crutch? Stop using food as a crutch. Why is it so hard for you to stop emotional eating? Why do you keep putting it off? If it's so easy, if you really believe and if it's really true that all you need is a couple more diet tips, or all you need to do is get that diet book out and just do it, why are you listening to me? Why aren't you just doing it? Okay, so clearly you've got a mindset problem. The glaring sign that you have a mindset problem is that you know exactly what you need to do to lose weight and you're not doing it. You either can't get started, or if you do get started, you can't keep going, you can't stay consistent. Maybe you get within a few pounds of your goal weight and then you blow it. Maybe you can only stick with it for one day. I don't know. Again, I don't know who you are. For all I know, you could be a hamster listening to this podcast, and your owner left their phone on and left, and you're just a little hammy listening to me. Again, I don't know who you are, but it just comes down to what you want. But here's a really great exercise that you could do right now, pen on paper, to help yourself, commit to yourself to get the help you need and move forward. Okay? It's really simple. All you do is you take a piece of paper and a pen, and you write down, where am I going to be 2 years from now if I just keep going as I am right now? Trying to do it all alone. Just telling myself I can do it. What are you going to weigh? What are you going to look like? What's your bank account going to look like? What's going to be the state of your relationships? How happy will you be if you just keep doing what you're doing? All right? And if you say to yourself, "Oh, well, I don't know. How can I know?" Well, just look at your past. How many years have you been struggling with this problem? For myself and for all of my clients and anybody else I've ever talked to, it starts when you're a kid, when you're like 8 or 7 or 10 or 12. If all you needed was a diet book, then again, why are you listening to my voice? So you take that pen and paper and you write out, where are you going to be 2 years from now if you keep doing what you're doing right now? And then the other side is, where could I be 2 years from now if I get the coaching I need right now to heal this problem I've got, to heal my binge eating, to heal my emotional eating, to heal my food addiction, to heal my fears? That's really what's stopping you. Fat is FAT, fear attracting thoughts. Oh, but I'm afraid to spend money on myself, or I'm afraid to take time for myself, or I'm afraid to change, or I'm afraid to get out of my comfort zone, or I'm afraid to what? You can keep your fears, and you can keep your fat, and you can keep your struggles, and be wherever you're going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. These things don't get better by ignoring them. I know from my own experience. It's not going to change. It's not going to get better by avoiding these problems that you have. But if you get real with yourself and you really look at, what the heck have you been doing? Where are you? Where are you going to be 2 years from now if you just keep going as you are? How about 5 years from now? How about 10 years from now? And so you write all of that down. And then again, on the flip side, depending on how overweight you are, 2 years from now, I bet you would already be at your goal weight, wouldn't you? I've had clients who were 5 pounds over their ideal weight, and clients who were 90 pounds or more over their ideal weight. And the struggle is the same for everybody who doesn't have a weight loss mindset. It's not even about the number. It's not about that at all. So if you're willing to get real with yourself, you could get a lot out of this exercise that I've just given you. If you're not, then just own the fact that you're getting the results that you're choosing for yourself. Own the fact that you're the only one standing in your way, and just, there's no one to blame. It's you. I'm not saying beat yourself up and blame yourself. I'm saying that own your decision to either keep doing what you're doing, or own your decision to get the help you need so that you can release these problems, release these unhealthy eating and exercise and unhealthy lifestyle behaviors, so that you can finally have the life and the body that you have always dreamed of. Because obviously, you're still listening to my voice. I mean, you must have some kind of desire to lose weight and keep it off. Because I got to tell you, as I'm recording this podcast right now, I'm a little bit tired. So for you to keep listening to my voice at the energy level I have right now, shit, man, I mean, you must have some kind of desire to change, because it's not like, again, it's not like I'm reading you a bedtime story. You know what I mean? But hey, I do understand the fears. I understand the fat. I understand the drama and the mind games. It's all a mind game. Wow, the mind games that I put myself through, and the struggles that I put myself through, and the wasted time, the wasted years. Now that's something to consider right there. Because if you are going to get coaching, you're going to have to invest money in yourself, of course. you know. Um, but you can always make more money. What you can never do is you can never get back the lost years, the lost time, the lost experiences, the lost opportunities, the lost fun, the lost sexy that you could have had in your ideal body. You can never get any of that back. Money is totally replaceable. That's just an energy, it's just a dial tone on a phone. And it all comes down to what you want, you know? If you have a stronger desire to spend your money on the food and keep binging, then that's what you'll do. And just own it. Own it that that's your choice if that's the route you want to take. You know? It doesn't mean you're a bad person or anything like that. It just means that that's your choice. That's your decision. But you have to also own your body and own how you feel about it. And I'm not saying I'm not an advocate for being obese and happy. I really do not believe that anybody who is obese is seriously happy, because that's hard. It hurts your joints, it hurts your internal organs. I mean, you have to take great care with how you're showering, because those folds, it's like a baby, how babies can get smelly because of their little fat rolls and things like that. So I make no apology for wanting to look my best. I coach my clients to make no apology for wanting to look their best. There is nothing wrong with releasing the excess physical fat from your body and being healthy and fit. In no way do I advocate unhealthy living and just being like a stick and you're not strong and fit and healthy. That's not what I'm about either. I'm all about health, vitality, strength, muscle tone, being in your ideal body at your ideal weight. I do not advocate unhealthy living on either end. I'm not into this be fat and happy. I really do not believe that anybody is truly fat and happy. I've never had a client who was. I really think that anyone who tries to advocate that, it's just not true. Look at the different celebrities who were overweight, and then they ended up losing weight, and then they got hate from their fans because their fans wanted them to stay fat because their fans are also overweight. What I'm saying is that you give anybody who's overweight the opportunity to release the fat without struggle, and they're going to take it. It is not comfortable. It's not easy. It's not fun to live in a human form and have excess poundage on the feet, on the knees, on the joints, on the internal organs, on the lungs, on the throat, on the esophagus. It's not comfortable. And now I do have to say, I have not had the experience of being grossly, massively overweight. But at my top weight, I was really, 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 really fat. And I'm not very tall. I'm 5'4". I always like to say I'm 5'4" and 3/4 because I wanted to be tall. I always wanted to be tall. I was trying to get myself to 5'5" somehow. I wanted to be at least 5'7". But my point is that, I cannot honestly say, oh yeah, I've been 200 pounds overweight, because I haven't. But my frustrations and grief and struggles that I put myself through are just as painful that I experienced as anyone else who is struggling with this topic. It's all a mind game. It's all a mindset game. So again, today's podcast is all about you being willing to get real with yourself. When's going to be the right time? you know, hey, guess what? The right time is never going to come for you to get the help you need to achieve permanent weight loss. It's never going to be the right time, ever. You either do it now or accept that you're choosing to stay as you are. That's really what it comes down to. It is time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show. Today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is www.easyfunweightloss.com. Head on over to www.easyfunweightloss.com and you can grab a free copy of my ebook that I have there. In it, you will learn 3 simple steps for making weight loss easy and fun from the inside out. It has to do with your beliefs, your inner programming, your inner self-programming, all of that good stuff, which is 92.8% of the whole ball of wax if you really are serious about making weight loss struggle-free and making it last. You can get my free ebook over at www.easyfunweightloss.com. Okay, questions to ask yourself. Actually, I've already given you questions to ask yourself. On each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you questions to ask yourself. I highly recommend you always write them down pen on paper, because there is a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you write pen on paper, and you don't get that connection when you type on a keyboard, or if you just listen to my voice. You're just not going to get it. But I really already gave you questions to ask yourself. I gave you that amazing exercise. It totally rocks if you do it. It's not going to help you at all if you don't do it. But, the whole point is to get real with yourself. What the heck are you doing? You keep saying that you want to lose weight and you want to keep it off, right? Or do you want to be a yo-yo dieter? If you want to be a yo-yo dieter, then I wouldn't spend any more time listening to this podcast or listening to any of my other podcasts in the JoLynn Braley Show, because yo-yo dieting sucks. That sucks. That's even worse than just staying overweight. Getting thin, getting fit, getting healthy, and then gaining it all back. That sucks. So, the exercise that I gave you earlier, the questions that I gave you to ask yourself, to get real with yourself, the only time to take action to heal your inner self and achieve permanent weight loss is now. Why? Why is now? Oh, because you're probably thinking, oh, well, you're just saying that, JoLynn, because you're a permanent weight loss coach and you just want me to sign up with you. Well, you can think that if you want. You can think anything you want. But what are your results? What are you doing? Where are you going to be 2 years from now if you just keep doing what you're doing? And the other thing is, now is the only time you have. Tomorrow never comes. You can continue to tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. 5 years from now, you can keep telling yourself you'll do it tomorrow. 20 years from now, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never gets here. Today, right now, when you're listening to my voice, this is the day that you told yourself yesterday would be the day that you'd finally change. Tomorrow's here. It's always now. You know? All of the highly successful make decisive, quick decisions, and they move forward. And it doesn't mean they're perfect. It doesn't mean that they don't keep learning and keep improving, but it means that they make a decision. And you know what? That's the one thing that is going to keep you where you are. If you refuse to decide to get the help you need to get out of your own way. And interestingly enough, the longer you refuse to decide that for yourself, you're not avoiding a decision. What you're doing is you're deciding to stay where you are. No decision is a decision. No decision to move forward and get the coaching that you need to achieve permanent weight loss in the least amount of time possible. No decision to move forward is a decision to stay where you are. You cannot get out of making a decision. It's impossible. You either decide to achieve the success that you say you want, or you are deciding to keep struggling. And if that's what you want to do, that's cool, you know. Nobody's judging you or anything unless you judge yourself. And as long as you own it, you know, nobody's doing this to you. Nobody's making you struggle. Hey, remember I said at the beginning of this podcast, or maybe 5 minutes in, I said, you're not going to like this podcast. It is Get Real episode number 17 of the JoLynn Braley Show. And if you're not willing to get real with yourself, you're just not going to like this. But, you know, nothing is ever going to change if you don't change. And if you don't know how to change your inner self so that you can live a healthy and fit lifestyle without struggle, so that you can stop your unhealthy eating behaviors, so that you can get out of your own way, so that you can release the fat and keep it off the rest of your life. If you don't know how to do this, then you need help. And if you decide, if it's your choice right now, if you've made the choice that you're going to keep going it alone, that's cool. Just own your results. You know, those are your results based on your choices and your decisions. And nobody can say that's wrong or good or bad. It's your choice. You get it? Is this making sense? I know it's Get Real episode number 17 of the JoLynn Braley Show, and it's you know, these Get Real episodes are more hardcore, but you know, you're not going to ever move out of your comfort zone if you avoid yourself and you don't get real with yourself. Nothing's going to change. You know, the days will just keep going by. You'll just keep being where you are. But actually, things do change. They get worse. They compound in interest. These struggles get worse, you know, and then the health problems come. You already know all of this, you know. And I'm not trying to sound like all hangdog and depressing or anything like that. It's just how it is, you know. Now, you could actually transform yourself from the inside out and have the beautiful, amazing, awesome life in your awesome body. You could have that. But you'd have to learn how to do things totally different right now. You know? Does that make sense? Hope this is helping you. It must be, because otherwise you wouldn't still be listening to my voice. Hey, on next week's episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, that will be continuing the series of the One Thought Shift for Weight Loss. That will be episode number 8 of the One Thought Shift for Weight Loss series. And the topic will be exercise habits and what exactly will it take for you to be willing to change your exercise habits. All right? That's another thing that does need to change if you are serious about achieving permanent weight loss. You're not going to be able to get around that. You know, I used to be stuck in this thing for a long time with because I'm a mindset expert, and if you know anything about the law of attraction, also that's a mindset topic, and there are some who don't understand how that works, and they think that all they have to do is think happy thoughts or think healthy thoughts and that they will change. That's incorrect. You do have to have the right mindset in order to take struggle-free action, but you have to take action. Okay? You're not going to magically have the amazing body that you see in pictures and that you tell yourself you want. You're not going to have that without changing your lifestyle. You know? And I know that sounds like a duh, of course I know that, JoLynn, but you might know that intellectually, but you might still be having some magical thinking that, oh, if I just think positive, I'll change. And it doesn't work like that. You have to take action. You also have to take action to change your mindset. That's why what I do with my clients is so powerful, because they have action steps to take. It's not just about sitting around and meditating. That doesn't really get you all I can say is that my clients, they get results, and I don't teach meditation. So, hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. Once again, this is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Kick-Ass Amazing Inner Self Diet. I wish you your best life living inside of your ideal body.